Hello gamers and welcome to MVPiece, the show where I take your favorite board games, look at everything that comes inside of the box and determines which single component among them is the most valuable piece of that game. Today's game is no stranger to battling it out for a title. Today, we're looking at King of Tokyo. King of Tokyo is the classic dice-rolling King of the Hill game featuring monsters, robots, aliens, pretty much everything in between. Lots of fun pieces to look at here, so we're gonna dive right in. For the contents, we have 6 monster boards, 1 Tokyo board, 6 black dice, 66 power cards, 6 cardboard figures, energy cubes, 28 tokens, and 2 green dice. So we got a lot of fantastic components here. So we're gonna take a deep dive look at the contenders for the MVPiece title. First up is the Tokyo board. This is the centerpiece of the table. It is the arena containing all of the action. It is the throne for which we are battling to dominate. A lot of excitement here. Tokyo City, it's in the name of the game. I wanna be there most of the time. Sometimes I don't. It's a little scary, but it's always fun. Then of course we have the stars of the show, the monsters. So fun, so much personality and character in all of them. They're all fun to play as. I like how they look on the table. I especially like how they look in Tokyo City when it's my monster, and I especially like when it's my monster tipping over my opponent's monster as I claim their spot. So this is actually a newer printing of King of Tokyo. Had we been looking at the original printing, there is a very good chance the Kraken might have been the MVPiece of the game, because I'm a sucker for sea monsters. And that's just a fun fact you now know about me. And each monster has their corresponding monster board, again featuring the fun, larger-than-life art, and these dials for tracking health and victory points, which are not only functional, but fun. And energy cubes. These act as the currency in the game to buy power-up cards. Always nice when they give you a 3D tactile piece like this versus, just a cardboard token or something. And also very thematic. It's fun to look at them and imagine all of this crazy radioactive energy just somehow compressed and compacted into this tiny little cube. So much power. But above all, they just look delicious. Every time I see a pile of them on the table, they just look like gummies and I just want to grab a handful and put them in my mouth. I'm not going to eat them, but someday I might. Then there are the power-up cards. These add so much fun, unpredictability, and variety to the game. They let you mutate your monster and give them new powers. You can do things like heal, you can energize, you can become stretchy, you can get armor plating, you can have fire breathing, you can have an extra head, you can have a child, you can have poison, you can be solar powered, you can be psychic, you can heal fast, you could grow bigger, burrow underground, have a giant brain, disappear in a smoke cloud, you have a spiked tail, you can steal other people's powers. Lots of action in the power-up cards. And driving the gameplay, the dice. They feel good to roll, they sound good to roll. They look fantastic, arguably some of the most iconic and recognizable dice in the industry, and they're huge, much larger than your standard dice. A monster game needs monster dice, and we got them. And finally, our power tokens and green dice. These are tied to the power-up cards, so if you get certain mutations, you have access to special abilities through the tokens, or even get to roll extra dice on your turn. Now, not all of these come up every game, so when you do get them and you have access to all these special cool things that your opponents don't, it feels pretty good. And that is everything that comes inside of the box. Some truly fierce competition for the title, but there can only be one MVPiece. And the winner is... the extra head power-up card. Here's a few reasons why. Number one, it's an extra head. I love the theme in this game. So the idea of your monster mutating to have a second head is just really cool. It's a fun visual. It makes me smile. Secondly, 7 energy. This is one of the more expensive cards in the game. Collecting all that energy is, it's a time-consuming thing. You really have to plan for it. So hoarding all of that, your opponent's eyes growing wide when they see your pile of energy cubes and this card hit the table, and you get to slide them over and you get to take home something like this. And then of course the power, which lets you and only you roll that extra green die on your turn. So you're rolling 7 dice per turn while everyone else is rolling 6 like chumps. With dice being the driving mechanic of this game, that's a pretty cool power to have. And bonus, there's actually 2 copies of this card in the power-up deck, which means it is possible to have a 3-headed monster allowing you to roll 8 dice per turn. I've never done it, but I dream. Oh, I dream. The extra head energy card is my MVPiece of King of Tokyo, but I want to know what your pick is. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time. Energy Q, oh no. I hate losing pieces.